The main goal of this discussion is to reveal the true financial situation of the average person, because most people measure themselves against illusions instead of reality. Every day we see carefully selected moments online that make life look more luxurious, more successful, and more stable than it really is. Vacations, new cars, shopping hauls, and big life milestones are constantly on display. What we do not see are the credit card bills, the loans, the financial stress, or the lack of savings behind the scenes. When people compare their real life to someone else's highlight reel, they often assume they are falling behind, even when that may not be true at all. Without real numbers, it becomes easy to build false beliefs about what is normal. Someone might think everyone else is saving more, earning more, or investing better, when in fact, many households are struggling quietly. Understanding financial averages is not about judging yourself or competing with others. It is about gaining perspective. Just like knowing average fitness levels or school performance can help you understand where you stand, financial benchmarks give you a clearer picture of your own habits. They help you decide whether your spending, saving, and investing choices are moving you toward long-term stability or slowly creating future problems. Awareness is powerful because it turns guessing into informed decision-making. When you understand the real baseline, you can stop chasing unrealistic standards and start building a plan that actually works for your life. If you want to see how the rest of these numbers might surprise you, comment number 1 below and keep watching this video. Now that we understand why perspective matters, let us connect that awareness to income, because this is where many expectations collide with reality. A full-time worker earning around $52,000 per year before taxes might assume they are doing fine. On the surface, that number sounds stable and respectable. It can create the belief that financial comfort should naturally follow. But income on paper and money available in daily life are not the same thing. Once taxes and required deductions are taken out, take-home pay often drops closer to $35,000 to $40,000 per year. That difference changes everything. Rent or housing payments, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, and basic living costs begin to consume most of what actually reaches a bank account. This explains why someone can earn what sounds like a solid salary and still feel constant pressure. The issue is not always low income. Often, it is the gap between expectations and real cash flow. This is why income alone does not define financial health. Two people can earn the same amount and end up in completely different situations, depending on how they manage spending, saving, and debt. Rising living costs make this even more challenging, shrinking purchasing power year after year. Without a clear plan, it becomes easy to drift into paycheck-to-paycheck living, even at average earnings. The key takeaway is simple. Earning an average salary does not guarantee stability. What truly matters is how intentionally that income is handled once it arrives. And once we accept that income alone does not guarantee stability, the next piece of the picture becomes even more important, and honestly, more uncomfortable to look at. What happens after the working years end? This is where retirement savings tell a powerful story. The typical retirement balance is around $65,000, and a large share of adults do not have a retirement account at all. That means many people are moving through their careers without building a dedicated safety net for the future. Even among older adults, balances are often not large enough to generate meaningful income. A retirement fund of $88,000 might sound like a lot at first, but when spread over many years, it provides only a small monthly amount. That reality highlights a simple truth. Time matters more than most people realize. The earlier saving begins, the more opportunity money has to grow. Delaying even a few years can significantly reduce long-term outcomes because growth builds on itself over time. Younger workers often have very small balances, not necessarily from lack of effort, but from postponing the start. Life expenses, student loans, and early career income levels can push retirement planning into the background. But waiting carries a cost that is easy to overlook in the moment. These numbers reveal a broader pattern. Many people are counting on future benefits or hoping things will somehow work out instead of building a strong foundation themselves. If this part made you pause, Tap like right now before you forget, because the next section gets even more practical. If retirement savings show us where many people may end up, monthly spending explains how they get there. The average household spends around $5,500 per month, which adds up to roughly $67,000 each year. That number is not made up of luxury alone. It mostly comes from everyday living. Housing takes the biggest share, whether it is rent, a mortgage, utilities, insurance, or maintenance. After that, food and transportation follow close behind. Just these core categories can consume a large portion of income before anything is saved or invested. This is where the pressure builds quietly. When most of what you earn is already assigned to essential expenses, there is very little flexibility left. In higher cost areas, this squeeze feels even tighter. It can create the sense that saving is impossible, even for people earning average or above average incomes. But the key insight here is not about cutting everything to the bone. It is about awareness and small adjustments made consistently. A difference of even $1,000 less in monthly spending compared to the average can change the long-term picture dramatically. That shift could free up $12,000 per year. Over many years, money that is saved and invested has the opportunity to grow, and that growth builds on itself. The impact is not instant, but it becomes powerful over time. The real message is that financial progress is often less about earning an extreme income and more about keeping spending slightly below what comes in, month after month, year after year. And once spending patterns are clear, the next factor shaping financial outcomes is credit. Many people actually maintain a decent credit score, with averages in the good range. This shows that a large number of individuals do pay bills on time and handle at least some aspects of borrowing responsibly. A solid score can help with loan approvals, better interest rates, and overall financial flexibility. But that positive signal hides a major issue happening at the same time. A significant number of households still carry credit card balances that grow quietly month after month. When interest rates are high, even a few $1,000s can become expensive to maintain. Unlike a home loan or education loan, credit card debt often comes from short-term purchases that do not increase in value. Once the moment passes, the payment remains. Interest charges can take money that could have gone towards savings or investments and redirect it towards servicing old spending. This is why managing debt plays such a critical role in financial progress. Reducing high-interest balances can create immediate relief in monthly cash flow and reduce long-term pressure. In simple terms, lowering expensive debt can sometimes be more impactful than chasing investment gains because it removes a constant drain. The habits that support healthy credit are not complicated. Paying on time, keeping balances reasonable, and avoiding unnecessary borrowing form the foundation. Yet these basics are often overlooked, which is why debt continues to slow down many financial journeys, even when income and spending are under better control. When we connect everything we have talked about, a clear pattern begins to appear. Income, spending, saving, debt, and long-term planning are all linked. Household net worth tends to grow with age, but even then, the typical levels remain more modest than many people expect. At the same time, the average savings rate is only a small portion of income. That combination explains why financial stress can persist across different stages of life. It is not always about dramatic mistakes. Often it is a series of small habits repeated over many years. The encouraging part is that the standard is not as high as people imagine. You do not need extreme income or perfect timing to move in a better direction. Saving a little more consistently than average, being thoughtful about spending, and staying cautious with high-interest debt can gradually shift your trajectory. Small differences, applied month after month, have the potential to grow into meaningful results over time. Progress in money works quietly, but it works best when actions are steady. The bigger lesson is about intention. Financial security rarely happens by accident. It usually comes from paying attention, adjusting habits, and making decisions with the future in mind instead of only the present moment. Understanding where most people stand is not meant to create fear. It is meant to show that improvement is possible and within reach. If this series helped you see money from a clearer perspective, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next video where we will break down simple steps you can start using right away.